maybe if the comic takes off, we'll see. Or the
Yeah,
podcast won't.
yeah, one of those two, right? It's always the
Right.
I say the same thing. I just recently I went to Secret Stash in New Jersey, and I
Yeah.
brought my comic there. And I'm like, if there's one place I can get my book into, and I've always said this, like growing up, if I ever write comics, I want to have a book there. And they politely passed on it for now. They're like, we're full in the local section. I'm like, that's fine. I'm gonna try again in a couple months.
Okay. Did you
Yeah,
give him Wasteland or?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Mike
So
passed on it? Was it Mike?
I think it was Mike. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
My oldest daughter got to go there with my mom. They went on to New York City, and then my oldest daughter made her stop in there. Um,
Nice.
I'm gonna go next year. I'm going to Terrificon in August, I think.
Okay.
In Connecticut, so I'll swing by there on my way up there.
It's a beautiful shop. That was actually my first comic shop. I'm from New Jersey.
Ooh,
So that was my first ever comic shop I actually frequented. My grandparents lived down the road. So every time I went up
heck
there,
yeah.
I would go shop. So that's why I said, like, if there's ever one shop I want to be in, it's that shop. So
Right,
that's my version of hitting the big time.
right.
So
That's one
yeah.
thing I want to do too. Is if the podcast and book take off a little bit, I'm gonna open a comic shop. So half
Dude,
studio, half comic shop. So
the dream right there for real. I was talking to my wife yesterday. Where I live in, like, we call it Chicagoland, so it's the western suburbs of Chicago. But we have a really cute downtown area with a bunch of vacant shops. And I'm like, if we could just hit the lottery, even the smallest lottery,
yep,
I want to shop there. But
that would be
yeah,
awesome.
it would be. I mean, just that has been, the kind of like the end all be all for everything. Ever since I got into comics, it's like just to be in a place where I love to talk what I love to for so long. When I was in college, I went to college at Full Sail University in Orlando, and my shop that I had was pretty much right next to my apartment. So I would frequent there every time, to the point where, like, I actually was volunteering and getting paid in comic books at times, which was great too. So I have like a stack of books that were just, hey, this is for you for doing your work today. Thank you. And I'm like, oh, I'll take it.
Yeah,
Girl
heck yeah.
college comics, that's the better way to get it.
Yeah, I've toyed with doing it live. I don't know. I'm still like just figured out how to do the whole green screen videos on TikTok this week. So,
Cool.
I just did a few of those.
I saw the Daredevil one before we started.
Yeah, I worked
Yeah.
on that for like 2 hours this morning, just trying to learn it, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't, I don't even think it was that good, but whatever.
Ah, I mean, the fact that you had Stephanie Phillips on your podcast is really cool, man.
That was amazing. She
When I saw
was,
that pop up, I'm like, dude, hell yeah. That's amazing.
she was super cool. Her editor, Will Dennis, being on there too was amazing.
Yeah.
And he's the one that orchestrated it all. I talked to him. I sent
Nice.
him an email. And yeah, I mean, all they can say is no, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So
That's like my mindset right now too. I hit up a few more comic shops within my area, and it really came down to, like, just me getting over the fear of rejection. And I was like, the worst thing to say is, right now it's just not a good time, and that's what I have to own up to and deal with. So I actually have 2 meetings this week, Wednesday and Thursday, with a couple of shops to drop off Wasteland. So pretty
awesome.
excited.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been thinking about how I would do that. So if I had a shop, because what I would think would be really cool is have like an indie wall, and then like put little tags on the shelf with like a QR code, like the thumbnail of the episode, and then like a
Yeah.
QR code to the episode. Like, so if they've been on the
Dude.
podcast, put a little thumbnail there, a little card
Yeah.
there. I thought that would be cool, but I might have to
That's
like
a great idea.
limit to like 10 a month or something. I don't know how I would do that.
Yeah.
Can't go broke.
No.
The it is what it is. But let's get started. We've had great conversation
Yeah.
already, and I'll probably have
Yeah.
to move all this into it, but that's fine. But we'll do an intro real
Yeah.
quick, and then we'll keep it up.
Hey, comic creators, artists, writers, world builders, this is your call to action. Here at Talking Comics, we love diving into the stories behind the stories. Whether you're just starting out or you've been in the game for years, we want to hear your journey, your creative process, and what fuels your imagination. So, ready to talk comics with us? Message us or hit the link in our bio and be a guest on Talking Comics.
So welcome to Talking Comics. I appreciate you being here. We have Dominic Prince with us. Before we jump into the comic, even though we've already talked a little bit about it and some cool other stuff, just tell us about yourself and, your background.
Yeah. My name's Dom. I've I'm relatively new to writing comics. I should say I'm new to publishing comics. I've been writing stories for about 15 years, but I've done nothing with those stories. And I've been very timid on letting people read them. And it wasn't until about 5 years ago-ish when I was having to be on TikTok and I saw someone who it was a video of a guy sitting at a table in Walmart and he had a stack of books in front of him and no one was talking to him. And this video, this video blogger walked up, content creator was like, "Hey man, tell me about your book." And the guy started talking about it. And now this guy's a bestseller on Amazon. So I saw this guy and I'm like, if he can do it, I can do it,
That's right.
and it's just a matter of putting myself out there and being vulnerable. So, yeah, for 15 years of writing stuff. And now I just started really getting into the creation of it all. Wasteland, which we'll talk about, as you said, that's my pride and joy. That was a 10-year story arc kind of thing that I've worked on. Started as a dream, and now it's kind of reality, which is really cool.
Is-
Yeah.
I was gonna say, is that out yet? Is Wasteland? It's available, right?
Wasteland is available
Okay.
now. Yeah, I have it on TikTok. I have it in one shop right now too.
Okay.
A local shop up in Rockford, Illinois, which is really cool. And I have a few interested parties in different states, which is even better. So I'll be sending that out this week. And yeah, it's crazy, really. I feel like even now, it's not a household name or anything like that, but it feels like it's something bigger than it already is. So it's pretty cool.
You've been working on it for 15 years, you said.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, this story is 10 years old.
10 years, okay.
Yeah. It's funny. I look at it now, and it's completely evolved from where it was originally. It was a dream I had in 2015 about I was Barry Allen of all things, right? And I'm just like I'm speeding through the city because this villain has Nora, who is my daughter, and if it's all clicking to you, this is because at the time The Flash was very big at the time, one of my favorite shows. And I just remember waking up. I'm like, that'd be such a cool story. I'm like, there's so many Flash stories out there. Why don't I write my own story? And that's when Wasteland officially kind of like birthed itself. And I took a lot from my real life to put inside there, and I like the surrounding life too. So I know you picked up the book. I don't know if there's some cues in there. There's a lot of play into like stereotypical racism, where it's like, hey, I don't like the way you look, screw you. So it kind of plays into that. There's a lot of destruction that happened in real life there too. So I'm born and raised in New Jersey, right on the Jersey Shore, which is now infamous for the Hurricane Sandy tragedy that happened. Yep. So inside the book, the first few pages, it shows like, hey, these are real pictures of like a sunken roller coaster, a burned down boardwalk, all that stuff. And I really wanted to, pay tribute to my hometown.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So you wrote the story 10 years ago, and you said now 5 years ago you let it come to light?
Yeah, that's when I wrote it about 5 years ago. And then, or 10 years ago, 5 years ago was when I was like, I need to do something with this. So I can't draw for the life of me.
Me too.
It sucks, right? It's such a crippling aspect.
I'm gonna learn. It's a goal. I don't know when, but
I'm working on it too. Actually, one of my tiers on my Kickstarter was like, it's called Become a Villain or Become a Hero, right? And I had a few friends of mine who backed that project. And then part of it is like, I will create a villain for you. So I have this one buddy, he's been hitting me up for months. He's like, where's my book? I want to see my villain. I'm like, I can't find the money to actually like put out to get the villain created from a professional artist. So I had to do it myself. And here, actually, let me find it real quick. I'll show you.
Please.
So his last name is Cook. He wanted to be a twisted rabbit villain out of all things. So I actually ended up making this,
Wow, that's
which is, it's so amateur, but I was like, you know what? I think he'll like it. He'll
yeah.
appreciate it. But yeah, that's my extent of my my drawing abilities on portraits.
What's worrying me? So I'm getting blank covers of my comic, right? The blanks and just the title. And I'm scared somebody's gonna ask me to like remark one, and I'm like, like
Yeah.
you want a smiley face? That
Yeah, right.
So I need to
I think
like
a great six figure.
right. My
Yeah.
daughter though, my my little one, she wants to do an alternate cover. So I've done a cover, but I did it graphic design. I'm okay at graphic design, but she's doing a cover. She's drawing it like in Photoshop or whatever, and she spent. I told you we were in the car a lot this week. She took a lot of time in the car and she started drawing. I'm like, oh man, that's actually pretty decent, for a first drawing ever. And I was like,
Yeah.
now I really have to get on the ball and do it. I can't let her outdo me on the covers. But yeah, that'll be interesting. But I'm gonna learn. We're gonna learn. It'll be great.
We are beyond excited to share the Chronicles of Panel Pete, a brand new comic coming in early 2026. Written by Talking Comics podcast host AJ Ryman and co-written and illustrated by Mike Algier, Dork Arts Comics. Panel P is a heartfelt comic about courage, imagination, and the hero within. Sure, he may stir up a little mischief, but at the end of the day, he's the hero we all need. Expect variant covers, exclusive merch, and much more. Follow the links in our bio, hit that notify me on launch on Kickstarter, and join us on this adventure.
It's one of those things where I've always tried, and actually, we're talking about your daughter. My daughter and I, during COVID, again, 5 years ago, she came to me, my oldest, she's 15 now. She came to me, she goes, I want to write a comic book. I'm like, okay,
Heck
no,
yeah.
I love that. Let's do it. So we wrote a book together, and that one's in the works still.
Awesome.
I'm still trying to finish. The hardest thing is finishing your story, right? That's the
Right.
worst. So there's so much I want to do with it, but I started working on some pages, and I'm like, I drew out the entire first page, and it looked really cool for me, but it's a crap artistry. So I'm like, I don't talk to another person. I'm like, hey, this is my idea. If you can help me out with it. And her name's Anna. I met her on there's a comic book community that I'm part of on Discord, and I posted like, hey, looking for an artist, and she hit me up. So we're working together on that, which is really cool. So that story's called Planet Unknown. Still work in progress, but
And
yeah.
is that one of the ones that's advertised in here?
Yeah,
there it is.
Yeah.
All right.
So, actually, one of the other ones in there, there was it might be the last page.
Yeah, we got Wasteland, Infamous 15. Oh, is that? Oh, Heart Eaters?
Heart Eaters. Yeah, that one is complete now.
Awesome.
So my artist, his name is Adam Fix. He's actually on TikTok as well.
Sweet.
He just sent me the last page the other day with a cover, and it's just the covers that's in there is not going to be the cover, but that was a good promo art for it. So
heck
pretty
yeah.
exciting.
So how exciting is it to get pages back, artwork pages back of something you wrote? Is that not the coolest feeling ever?
Yeah, it's so hard to describe.
Right?
You have a vision for it, and you're writing this out, and you're like, okay, this is how I want it, and then you give it to your artist, and you're like, this is my idea. This is what I would like to see, but I don't want you to feel like stuck in this area.
Right.
Amazing artists, do what you think is interpreted.
100%.
Like 9 times out of 10, they come back with something that's like a perfect blend of their idea and my idea. And it's like, you know what? This is why we're 50-50 on this. This is amazing.
It's awesome. I love, getting when he sends me pages back, I'm like, okay, this is amazing. Something that I wrote, and like he sent me page 13 back the other day, 13 or 14. Yeah, we're just over halfway. So it's super exciting. We're hoping to have it out by like February sometime.
Are you gonna be doing a Kickstarter for it?
Yes, I will, but I'm not gonna do a Kickstarter until I have a complete product. Because I'm doing it regardless, right? This is the cover. This is just a print of cover A that Mike Algier did. He's my artist. He's from Dork Art Studios. I don't know if you know him. He's on Instagram.
I think so, yeah.
follow him. He's awesome. He's got,
Oh
a
yeah.
bunch of his own work too. But he was nice enough to do some like fan art one day, and then I was like, "Hey, you want to do an alternate cover?" So he sent me a cover, and then I was like, "You want to just do the whole book?" So he's doing the whole book. I'm paying him to do the whole book. So, it worked out that way because I was really worried about finding an artist. Like, it's not easy. Like, we can go into that.
Man, I actually Heart Eaters, I got screwed over on that.
I've heard
So I
those.
had an
Yeah,
artist.
give that horror story for people.
Oh my god, man, that was, and it's my own mistake, really, because it's, I'm on several forums, Facebook groups, Discord, all that stuff, and I've been really searching for the right artist for everything, for all my different stories I have. And I posted something, and I got a response back in my DMs, and this guy named, I think his name was Alex, if I remember correct, if that's even his name.
Right.
Right. So contacts me. He's like, "Hey, I'm a new artist. I'm really trying to I want to help someone create a story, but I'm not looking to really charge what a professional artist would charge. So this is what I'm offering you." And it was like $500. And I'm like,
Yeah.
seems too good to be
Right.
true. Maybe I'll take the chance, because that's a pretty good deal. So I sent him the work, and I sent him a $250 deposit, because that's, I don't know how you work on yours. Sounds like you do page by page.
Well,
Some
I give
artists
him
do.
a payment each month. So,
Okay, yeah,
I broke it up into like 4 payments. So,
that's kind of what I'm doing with Adam right now. With
and
Hardy.
he's ahead of me, which is I feel bad for because I'm sticking to the
Yeah,
payments, right? But he's a few pages ahead of the payments. So,
yeah. I mean, Adam finished the book, and I'm like, I haven't finished paying you yet, man, but I'll get you all your payment in December. I promise.
right.
But back to the beginning of how this all kind of originated and why I got in touch with Adam. Um, this guy, he started sending me pages, and I'm noticing, like, it's what I'm asking for, but it's also off. So I'm sending critiques like, "Hey, this is supposed to be this way. This is supposed to be this way." And I'm really starting to get like nitpicky with it. And the next thing you know, no communication. The guy's Facebook gets deactivated, and then I'm getting responses from their studio page. And I'm like, "This is weird. You have my money now, and it's only $250, but it's still a lot of money for an indie writer."
Mm-hmm.
And it was just back, like, trying and trying, and finally I was like, "You know what? I can't do this anymore." I'm cutting off all communications. I took him off of my script doc, so he can't steal any more information if he did steal
Right.
anything. Um, and that was really, that was a hard moment, because I had just printed Wasteland with the advertisement for Heart Eaters
Hard
inside
eaters.
of it.
Right.
So that was rough. Um, but at that same time that I was going through that, I was working with Adam already on a indie, like 8-page anthology story, about robot penguins fighting soldier penguins. It's called Battle for McDonald Island. Um, it's fantastic. So the whole premise of the anthology was that people were creating penguin stories as a crowd fund for climate change. So all proceeds went towards climate change, and it had something to do with McDonald Island only because of what Trump enacted recently with the tariffs on a, an island solely inhabited by penguins. It was this little, like, really crazy idea. So I had posted on TikTok like, "Hey, I'm looking for an artist," and Adam reached out to me, and I sent them the stories like, "This is fucking amazing. Excuse my language." So he bought into it real quick. It's so cute, and it was such a great story. So I hit him up, I'm like, "Hey, this just happened to me. Would you be interested in taking over the story?" And he was very understanding, and he gave me an amazing rate too. So
Awesome.
he's like, "Yeah, absolutely." So he hopped on, and I mean, within weeks it was completed.
That's
So it was pretty
amazing.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. That's knock on wood. Mike's been amazing. I know he will be. It was really cool last weekend. We went to a convention locally, the NC Comic Con, and we ran into the homebrew guys, which I knew they were going to
Mm,
be there. You know, the homebrew
yeah.
guys, homebrew comics.
Yeah.
Um, my first ever interview on this channel was with Chris Saloff from Crit. And
Wow.
so I was like, it was really cool to meet him and then all the other guys, hanging out with them. And I was able to buy their books and get them autographed. But I'm like, somehow Mike came up, and I was like, yeah, Mike's doing my book, he's doing the artwork. He's like, oh, that's awesome. Like, they were huge Mike fans. And so
Yeah.
it's awesome to see that his name's getting out there too. Cause I want that for him,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's great for him. And then, like, having your story just within his portfolio to be working on, well, your name gets spread around as well. So
Exactly.
kind of just, it's a two-handed thing there.
So I'm hoping, I can help him out, it'll help me out a little bit. Cause like, my goal with this book has changed. It's very weird because I just did it to do it, to like learn, to do the process. It's almost how it's exactly how this podcast started. Is I started a podcast in my day job. I was told to start a podcast, right? And learn it and figure it out. But there's so many layers of corporate approval. I couldn't do anything to test and learn.
Yeah.
And so my little kid had come in and she's like, I want to be on your podcast. I'm like, that's never going to happen. This is corporate, BS. And I was like, she's like, well, I want to be on something. So I was like, well, let's start our own. And we got into comics recently as she did. I'd always been in them, but she got into them a few months before that. And I was like, let's just do a comic one. And then that's what we did. I just did it to learn. And then it just like, okay, this is fun. Oh, you want me to interview people? Okay, let me try that. Oh, that was fun. Let me keep doing that. And it's, we're done. Our first upload was March 30th of this year. And, I just released episode 62 this morning.
Crazy, right?
Right? Doing 2 or 3 a week, they add up quick.
Yeah, they add up real quick.
But being able to do the book, I wanted to do it to learn the process. And just to learn, and then now I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe I'll submit it to a publisher. Or maybe we'll do, I don't know. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And that was my idea too. I was like, I can write this, I can put it out, and then I'll submit it. And then, it's that, again, that fear of rejection, fear of no one liking my story, which you have to get over. Is just like, maybe I'll just do it myself.
Right.
And I had the platform already with Heroes Get Remembered. And I've always wanted that, like, as I'm in my 30s, but for many years, I've always tried to create something bigger than what I am. And Heroes Get Remembered was that perfect opportunity. I kind of saw that as like hey, what if we can, I still want to do podcasting in the future, but I want to make videos. I want to shoot film and whatever I can do. And I want to print books. Heroes Get Remembered kind of transformed from being this podcast idea into what it is now, where it's Heroes Get Remembered Comics. Infamous 15 was actually written by myself and then 2 other members of Heroes Get Remembered. So it's like it's slowly building into something a little bit more.
Yeah, I love that. To keep, so how did that start? How did the podcast start? Like, where did you come up with all that?
Man,
was it after you started the writing and then you decided to release Wasteland? You're like, I gotta do a podcast about this.
So actually, the podcast came first.
Okay.
Again, it was that time where we were all stuck inside, not much going on. Everyone was making podcasts at that time too. I was my buddy Josh, who was on the mug with me. He actually used to work in radio, and I hit him up one day. I'm like, hey, any chance that me and you can just like schedule let's like a morning radio show? Like, just like I'll call in. We can do a little something funny and stuff. He's like, I would love to, but I don't think my producers will let me. He's like, how about we do a podcast? I'm like, let's do it.
Perfect.
I'm the game, And the first episode, I don't know if it's still out there. I may have deleted it off our Spotify stuff, but it was done on my phone with it was like an app where I can record our telephone call, and it was horrible. It was such bad quality, but we had so much fun. So we did that for at least 3 or 4 episodes, and then we both invested in podcasting gear, so microphones, laptops, whatever. And it really took off. We had a number of guests on our show, which was a lot of fun. I mean, you know how it is just scheduling people. It can be a little daunting at times, even asking for like, hey, do you want to be on my show? But we had quite a few musicians, and then a few different bands and stuff. And actually, at one point, I talked to my cousin, who he's like my younger brother. I was like, hey, let's I want to have you on the show one day. Let's have some fun. He ended up joining the show.
Sweet.
So it kind of like blew up into a bigger thing. And Yeah, it was really great. So as I'm doing that was when I was like, let's get the comic book going too. I have a podcast. I can promote the comic book through the podcast if I want to. And we kind of like started to mold a kind of like a real like entity of Heroes Get Remembered at that point. It's pretty cool.
Very cool. So go back to what you said. I don't think we ever got finished that part of when you 5 years ago you decided to turn it into something. Who's the first person you let read it?
Man, I don't know. I think Brandon, my cousin Brandon, who's a co-host of mine, I sent it to him. I'm like, hey, what do you think about this? And he actually like he definitely helped me edit it from here to there. It's like, hey, fix this, do this. He's like, but it's a great story. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm very conscious of my stories. Like, I've been married for 8 years now, and my wife just read Wasteland when it was printed. Um, and it's silly to think, but like, like I was just like, I don't want you to read that and not like it, or it
Right.
was just a thing, So, um,
Yeah, I did the
but yeah,
same. When I wrote my script, I gave it to my wife
yeah,
and kid, and I just ran in the other room and hid.
yeah. And like my wife loves to read. She has a full bookshelf of stories, and she's really into the horror scene and stuff. And I also didn't want to confuse her with a script. A script in comparison to a novel, it's so different. It's hard to
Right.
read, hard to understand. So I was like, I don't think she'd be interested in it. And I knew my cousin who, him and I have been writing stories for so long now. I was like, hey, you'll understand what I'm saying here. Can you read this and tell me what you think? So he was great. I mean, Brandon, like I said, him and we've been writing stories actually. Geez, I want to say that might be going further back than 15 years, might be 20 something years now. Had a couple characters that we ended up writing into the tune of Cain and Abel, which was a fun story. I mean, there's so many different storylines about Cain and Abel, but they were superheroes. So Cain was the fire type, Abel was the water type. So it had like this last airbender meets biblical story arc to it. It was a lot of fun. Never went anywhere with it, and now the story is lost. We have no idea where it went. Yeah.
Yeah, that happens over the years. I don't know what happened to some of my stuff years ago, but it'll pop up one day. So how
But
did you find? Go ahead.
yeah. No, I was gonna say back to like, the reading and stuff. I was on a forum or a group, I should say, on Facebook, and I saw my artist Hudson actually posted like, hey, this is who I am. I'm looking for some work. And it was at that moment where I'm like, if I don't let someone who I don't know read the story, I'll never go anywhere. So I hit him up. I'm like, hey, Hudson, I really like your work. Can I send you a story? And then you kind of tell me what you think. And right away, he was like, I love the story. And for him to say that he actually is, English isn't his first language. He's from Brazil. So for him to be able to translate what was happening in the book to his native language and understand it was a great feeling.
And it's so awesome. Like Mike with the artist is doing mine. It's like to find somebody as passionate about the project that you are or we
Hmm.
are, right?
Yeah.
That's priceless.
Oh, 100%, 100%. There's someone else on TikTok that he's actually from Chicago. I don't know if you have John Avina. Have you
Yeah, I'm
Avina
gonna have
Comics?
him on soon. I don't know
Nice.
exactly
Okay.
when, but yeah, he signed up. I know that. I don't know the date.
I love it. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a great guy. I met him a couple times.
sweet.
We communicate back and forth, and seeing him too, a Chicagoland native, I'm like, dude, that'd be really cool to be a part of his community as well.
Right.
So while I was already in the process, like the Kickstarter was being generated and stuff, and that's when I met him. And like, this is just great timing. So that was kind of another person that really influenced me to put myself out there and do a little more.
Yeah, I look forward to meeting him, interviewing him, and hopefully I'll be up that way at some point and can meet all of you guys. That'd be amazing. That was the funnest
Dude,
part about that convention last weekend was getting to finally meet people in person,
hell yeah.
instead of just over the, podcast. It was really cool. So I really got to get that live podcast thing going.
Dude,
Um,
C2E2 is coming up. It's March 26th, I think. maybe. I might be wrong on those dates, but it's definitely the end of March.
You're the second
So
person I think that's told me about this, so I need to look at it. C2E2.
yeah, if you're looking to meet comic book creators, especially like local Chicago ones, C2E2 is the best place to do it.
And that's the end of March?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, as for conventions, that might
might
be
be
the
there.
third largest in the
Wow.
the country.
Yeah.
I think it's tied with maybe MegaCon in Orlando might be tied with it, but yeah, it's pretty big.
All right, I need to look at getting a booth.
I myself am considering it. There's a whole application process you have to go through, and it's whether or not they want to go forward. Actually, I was creating my website just so I can actually have something for them to look at.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I'm working on that too. I'm working on getting the booth built because we're doing the first one at the moment is the end of April. And then we're gonna be in Traverse City, Michigan on Memorial Day.
okay,
And then we're
Ooh,
gonna
that's
go
awesome.
to the one in April's locally here in Greenville, North Carolina. Traverse City, we're gonna try to get into Terrificon in Connecticut because Mike does that show every year, so I want to do one with him.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna start, try to do one a month. I'm gonna go out to Texas because I got some friends out there. I got family in
Okay.
Oklahoma, so I might do a lot
You
of traveling.
you got connections, man. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm trying, but I got to get, the podcast booth built and, have the book
Yeah,
to sell and prints and stuff like that.
that's the big thing. Yeah,
You
because
know,
I have many friends and family that are like, when are you can start doing conventions? And I'm like, I have one book, like I have multiple covers of that book, which is
right,
cool. Like, I personally would feel better if I had maybe 3 or 4 on my table, just so I can
right.
have some variety and like, hey, here's a great children's story. I have
Yeah.
kids walk up. This is Planet Unknown. Your kids would really like this. And then here's Heart Eaters for the horror or the horror fan and that sort of thing. So I'm really
I
trying to get
totally
those.
get that idea.
Yeah.
For me, I was going to start doing conventions with just the podcast.
Hmm.
So just advertising the podcast. But, you know, you have to, I had to switch my head, in my head that it's okay that I don't have anything to sell. I'm spending, this
Yeah.
is marketing money, right? This isn't
Yep.
to make a profit, right? It's to just market the podcast, gain subscribers is the, revenue, right? From
Absolutely.
that. So when I decided to do the comic, it made me feel a lot better. At least I'll have something there. And then I could do prints and stuff like that of the
Yeah.
covers. And I do have a second comic in mind, or third. These are going to be like a series of one shots, but it'll be another year probably before I get the second one out.
Yeah.
Got to get this one
And
done.
that's the tough thing, it's like, is especially someone like me, I really don't stop creating, I
Right?
have about an hour-long drive to work every single day, and,
Wow.
so in that time frame, I'm usually listening to audiobooks or music, but a lot of times I'm sitting there writing notes, like like
Yeah.
like voice to text notes on new stories and stuff, and, it's like I sometimes get a little ahead of myself because now I have a folder that has at least like 25 stories in my Google Docs, and it's like I got to finish writing that one, but I also have to finish this series that I'm already currently working on, and it's like I feel for the professionals out there that do this on a daily basis that are just like writing 10 comics a day. It's like, dude,
Right.
crazy.
Oh, it ain't 10 a day. Stephanie Phillips is only writing one a week, she said. So,
One a week. Okay, yeah. But
she
even
writes
one a
one
week
script a
is
week.
just like
It's
crazy.
still a lot, you know.
It's a lot, and
Um,
that's a completed issue every single
right.
week, and that's a lot. Yeah.
It is. And yeah, that's crazy. Which, I mean, I guess it took me just over a week to do mine. I wrote it on an airplane ride. I had a 6-hour plane ride one way and a 5-hour plane ride the other. So I wrote most of
Okay.
it, 90% of it on that. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I get distracted real easily, so I feel like every time I sit down to write something, I get on a roll, and then I'm like, "Oh, wait, I have to do this," and I get off, and I walk over to do something else, and then I don't pick that script up for another, like, 2 weeks.
That was my point. Like, if I was sitting here in my office and trying to do it, or,
Yeah.
I would have never, the only thing I could get done here, and it took me like 3 days, was the outline. I did a
Mhm.
1 through 20 and just put the overarching theme of each page on it. And that took me 3 days. But then I was like, all right, I put it aside. I was like, I have this plane, this trip coming up. I can't do anything else on the plane, so might as well dedicate my time, to write the script. So, and
Yeah.
it worked for me. It was a lot of fun. And then,
Heart Eaters, I think, is the only one that I wrote within a single day. Um,
wow.
but that's because that was last year. That was while I was after I got the Kickstarter. I got Kickstarter started. Everything was published, ready to go, and I'm watching the backers come through, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be really good. And I'm like, I need to work on the story. So I actually ended up putting on Saving Silverman of all things, and that inspired me to write Heart Eaters. So it's a very like
Awesome.
boy meets girl, girl breaks up band has to get back together. It's a similar story to that, but there's a different element, a
Element.
supernatural to it. So
Was that the Kickstarter for Wasteland?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so go into that. Like, what was it like?
yeah.
How did that go? What did you do?
Oh man, that was
Give
hey, I'm gonna
everybody
start
the
this
tips and tricks.
tips and tricks. Yeah. Wasteland was funny because I was like, hey, I'm gonna start this in June. And I go to the Kickstarter page and I look at it. I'm like, let's start this in the end of July. And then July comes. I'm like, all right, September 1st, we're starting this. This is what it's going to be, But I kept going through and I make different tweaks. I'd go to other people's Kickstarter campaigns and I try to pull some ideas from there to really influence my story. And it was definitely terrifying because it's like who's going to back this, and a lot of people I got backed were friends and family, which is
Right.
the normal for Kickstarters.
Right.
But it was nice to see I had a number of people from TikTok, and even from I think I had a few people from Twitter follow my link over to the page and actually
Sweet.
back it, which was really nice to see. um I was going on YouTube every day watching how should I do certain things, how should I word certain things. So I actually ended up breaking out really simple. The I had at the very top of the page, just under the header, I actually made a video talking about Wasteland, probably sitting right in front of this
Same
little
background.
power setup right here. And it was crazy, crazy, man. I mean, I spent hours editing that video, just editing, putting different panels here, talking about the artist here, trying to generate some sort of professionalism in it.
Mm-hmm.
Posted it. I was really excited. I went back and watched it. I think 2 months later, I'm like, God, that was such a terrible video. How did I get backed?
Yeah, I do the
um,
same.
yeah, but as creators, we're our own worst critic. We're always gonna be looking at things going, that could
Well,
have been
that's
that
like I
better.
said. You mentioned seeing that Daredevil video I did this morning. I was like, it took me
Yeah.
forever. And I don't know. I didn't think it was that great, but I was like, I'd post it. Whatever.
It's we just have to kind of bite the bullet and just put ourselves out there for our own sense of vulnerability. So that's my next Kickstarter I'm going to be doing. I think I'm doing it at the end of February. Um, it's going to be for Heart Eaters, and I'm actually going. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be shooting a music video for it. So
Ooh, heck yeah.
yeah. So I have a venue set aside already. My buddy has a production company, and it's actually the company that I did that short film with recently.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be fun. Yeah, I figure all I need is maybe 30 seconds to 45 seconds of actual band playing footage,
Right.
and then it's gonna go into the whole story of what Heart Eaters is. So it's gonna be pretty cool, pretty excited.
Yeah, I definitely. So I have the pre-launch page built for my Kickstarter,
Yeah,
and I'm gonna go in and change everything because I don't, but
it's tough, man. You get to I do the pre-launch was yeah. When I looked at that, I looked at all my different because there's 10 different panels you have to go through each individual one, edit each, and it's I probably went through every single day, went through each panel and redid it until I really felt like it was okay to go. So
and I have a lot more artwork. So when I first built it, I only had 1 or 2 pages of the artwork.
mhm.
Now I have 13 pages. I can do a little bit more, share a little bit more. And
Yeah,
then the process, and like I said, do a video. I'll have to, figure that out. I don't know. We'll see. It's hard, but I'm probably gonna go around February, March sometime.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have the book in my hand first. I have a printer already. He's in Traverse City, Michigan. A buddy of mine owns a print shop up there. So I'm
Is
actually
it is that
like
comics?
no, it's Allegra Printing, Traverse
Okay.
City. I know there's like
Is it-
Wellspring Comics or somebody's up there in
Yeah,
Michigan
Comics
too.
Spring I think is in Traverse City as
Oh,
well.
are they?
I remember- Yeah,
Huh.
yeah. I think, maybe I'm wrong,
I
but I could
don't.
have
I know they're
sworn.
in Michigan, but I don't know if they're in Traverse
Yeah,
City. But my buddy owns a Allegra printing service. You know,
nice.
um, he's gonna print it for me. But I'm gonna
Probably get a lot
fly up
cheaper
there.
than $4 an issue.
Yes, yes.
Like when I'm selling Wasteland right now, I'm selling at $8 a book. And I'm like, it's just it costs $4 to make. I'm trying to at least make
Right.
something back with it. If I have to sell it at 6, I'll sell it at 6. It's fine.
I'm debating that myself. Currently, I'm thinking 7 because I'm still
Yeah.
like I'm just under 3, but there's other costs involved too.
But yeah.
I don't know. I'm debating. I don't know. I haven't figured it out. The last few days, I've been thinking maybe I'll go $8, maybe
Yeah.
8. I don't know.
I feel like that's the going price for indie books
Yeah. I
nowadays.
don't
And
want to
then
do double digits. That's the one thing I
no,
don't want to get into. 10,
um,
15, 12, whatever. No.
yeah. If it comes to a particular variant cover, then that's something that I consider. But like the main cover
Yeah.
story, $8. Honestly, I feel like that's logical for all
Right.
indie right now.
I agree. And then like if I have to sell it for 5 or 6, I'm okay with that. Like if I'll give you $5 if you subscribe to my channel, kind of
Yeah,
thing. You know,
exactly.
I'll do stuff like that in prints and stuff. He's gonna do all my the prints. But what he's gonna let me
Nice.
do too is he's gonna let me go there to the shop when I get it done and record it coming off the machine. The first one coming off the machine. So
Oh yeah,
that'll
I
be a
love it.
cool experience.
That's awesome. Yeah.
But that's cool. So how much did you ask for in your first one?
I asked for 3,000,
Okay.
and we backed. I think it was like 3,600. We got.
Awesome.
And it was within the first week, which
Sweet.
is really cool. And I kicked myself in my own butt for that one too. I mean, I love the fact that we backed it within the first week, but then I stopped.
You
I
stopped
stopped all
promoting.
promotion. I got the money
Gotcha.
I needed, and I stopped. I probably could have got a lot
A
more
little bit more.
if I put a
Yeah.
little more into it. And that's another thing. Like when you're selling your book, like you're selling your book in that moment.
Right.
Don't stop. Keep pushing. Try to get those extra tiers. I look at it, I'm like, I could have probably got another 3,000 if I just pushed a little harder for it.
Heck yeah.
And that would have fully backed issue 2,
Right.
So,
Yeah, I'm doing a really small goal, like $500, just because I'm doing
mhm,
it regardless. And this is going to be like $500 if you want, if you want it, here it is, just as a way for
yeah,
them to order it. I think that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna need to build some more tiers, probably different covers. We're working on different covers.
I would say biggest thing is, like stickers are great.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone always wants stickers. Stay away from t-shirts.
Yep.
I made a mistake and I did a t-shirt tier, and that alone cost me like, I think $600 just to print the shirts. And I'm like, I'll never do that again. That's a lot of our funding money.
Yep.
Um, I mean, I'm I'm a merch guy. I'm wearing. I don't know if you read Rising at all. So I'm wearing
Yeah.
my Red Rising shirt right now, and like I want to be able to wear my merchandise out there, but right now it's not the time for that. Right now it's just
Yeah.
about the books, and I got to focus on that. So
Well, I've got t-shirts, hats, hoodies. I got it all on there because I use
yeah,
Printify to print all that, so I
is
don't
that?
have to.
Oh, you don't have to. You don't have to buy bulk then, right? It just
Right. I just buy, whatever
it's-
I need. So if 10 people back it, I order 10 shirts and
okay.
send them to them at a discounted rate. So yeah, I mean, I used to do all the printing and all that stuff myself in
Mm,
my previous years. I did a lot of merch stuff and screen printing and transfers and t-shirts, hats, all. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm like, it's not worth it to me anymore. It might cost me $2 or $3 more a shirt now through Printify,
yeah.
but that $3 is well worth the time. I don't have to mess with it.
That's fair. Yeah,
So
yeah. I'm in that same boat where I'm like, do I do I do my own printing now? You know, my mom has a whole like heat press for transfers and stuff, and I'm like, I could get that, and I can maybe
Yeah,
start doing my own shirts and stuff. But like you said, it's time,
it is,
and
and
it
it's
is
a
money.
lot of time. And
Yeah.
I have the whole setup because I used to do it in my past, life. I owned a hobby shop, game store,
Okay.
and I sold it in 2016, and then I turned it into a miniature gaming accessory company, and I made a lot of things out of like mouse pad material. I made 2D terrain for tabletop gaming,
Oh,
objective
cool.
markers, and then I made, but then I did shirts and trays and you name it, we did it. And then I would buy the transfers, just a stack of pieces of paper, the screen print transfers, which is a good way to do it because instead of having 10 of each shirt, I have, you know, 10 of each size and then a
Yeah.
transfer and you pick what you want. Right. So it helped with inventory. Um, but it's like, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm old.
That's fair, man.
It's
That's
going to be
cool.
bad enough. I mean,
You got to
I
maximize your time.
Right, and I love doing conventions and stuff, and I wanna be able to, talk to people instead of sitting behind the booth, printing shirts. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I'm excited to see my daughter at a convention like that have a booth at. She was a little taken back by we actually got recognized by a few people at the last one locally,
Okay.
and she was like, I don't like this." I'm like, "Yeah, we gotta get used to that." So I gotta watch
Yeah,
that
it's
a
gonna
little bit.
happen, man.
Yeah.
That's yeah, it's especially having a little one involved with it too.
Yeah. I gotta protect that as much as I can,
As much
and
as you can, man.
when we do have a booth, I'm gonna have it to where she'll be there. She can be there as much as she wants, but I'm gonna have only like a dedicated like 1 hour time she has to be there. The
That
rest she can do
yeah,
whatever she wants. So
that's smart. My oldest years ago, we were gonna do something similar. Before Heroes Get Remembered started, it was actually dads and daughters at conventions is
heck
what it was
yeah.
called. And we were making like tips and tricks for family members who want to go to conventions, like this is what you need to do, this is what you don't do, bring snacks, whatever.
Right.
So we had a few videos that we made and we just never did anything with it. I think there might be a TikTok page out there with
Ooh,
one video up with it.
I'm gonna find it.
Um, yeah, I know it's that somewhere it maybe got deactivated. I don't
I
know,
don't
but
know.
it was just it was such a cool thing, and that's kind of like when she really decided I want to do comic books too. And it was really a good moment. I think it was that might have been 2019, so that was right before COVID hit.
That
And I think
before.
that's why we stopped. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I had my gaming company and COVID killed me. I was literally
Mm,
in the car on the way to the biggest convention I was ever going to go to in Chicago.
mm.
Um, I got everything loaded up. I was an hour and a half down the road when I got the email that the convention was shut down.
Oh, jeez.
I was like, "Oh," and turned
Yeah.
around and went back home. And then, I just lost all motivation. And then I was working like 3 jobs at the time, and I was like, "I can't keep this up."
Yeah.
Uh, but then, like the last 2 years, it's like, man, I really got to get something going, like myself again.
Of
And
course.
this podcast has really helped me with that. Doing my own thing, growing something, producing something,
Yeah.
talking to amazing people, learning, a whole new life, a whole new job, whole new, you know, market of stuff out there has been amazing. And
Yeah.
I'm really excited for the future of this. So we'll see what happens.
That's amazing. I mean, again, you're putting yourself out there. You're making something out of what normally wouldn't be a great situation. So, and doing it with your daughter alongside of you too is great.
That's
That's
the fun part, right? I
such a
would have
good
never
feeling.
been I was never the guy that liked to be on camera in front of a microphone. That was just not
Mhm.
me a year ago. I was like, no. But then we
Yeah.
started doing it like you were saying earlier, some of your first episodes like on a phone, recording a phone call. I love going back and watching like episode 1 where
Yeah.
it's just Annika and I at a fold out table in the, in this room, nothing in the background, bare walls.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
one microphone between us, and it's
Yeah,
so
it was
cool.
funny. We made a theme song too for Heroes Get Remembered, uh, and that was just something I recorded on my phone. I had my buddy record a guitar track for me. I did simple drum tracks on GarageBand. Oh man, it was like I go back and I listen to it, and it's still one of my favorite theme songs ever. And it was just like it was always was this is our title song, isn't very long. And that was it. And I said, "You're listening to Heroes Get Remembered podcast," and that was so short and sweet. Um,
We do similar stuff, and it's fantastic.
yeah,
So we do a like question time, and like we'll just do stupid trivia, fun, just questions.
yeah,
It's become its own thing on the podcast now. But she just sat there one day in the corner and just started singing "It's Question Time," this little theme song, and I happened to
yeah.
catch it recorded, so I turned it into a whole theme. So every episode her and I do at the beginning of Question Time, I insert that video clip.
I love it. That's so great. We towards the end there, we were doing different segments. So we would break off at one point and we would do readings from a comic book. And we would open up a book just to a random page and read it, no matter what it was. So our first one that I opened up, it was a Teen Titans story. And Alfred just goes, and he was a boy. And that was like the only thing on the page. So that's what I left that. And like so I read him like, and Alfred says he was a boy. And then it was just silence. And both I hear Brandon and Josh just snickering like, what the fuck are you reading now? That's all it is. Oh
I've
man.
done
So
a
we
couple of those where I try to read a comic book like as an episode, and I don't know,
yeah.
I haven't been in good yet. I've done two or three of them. I have to keep
It's
working
just
on it.
those little things though, it's just so much fun. Like, it's just like a spark out of nowhere, like just creates a random thing that
Yep,
becomes something in
becomes
the
the whole
podcast.
segment, right?
Wow.
You mentioned seasons on your podcast. How
Mhm.
did you guys determine what a season was? Because that's something I haven't figured out what I'm going to do yet.
Yeah, we would do so we recorded once a week. I think it was like a Friday night, and then we would drop it on a Sunday. So we did that every week. So we had I think about like 20 or 30 episodes. And then we were like, you know what? Let's take a few months off,
Okay.
and then we'll start season 2. We would do it after like 30 episodes, pop into a new season. Well, season 1 was only audio. And then season
Oh,
2, we
okay.
decided to go into video work.
Yep.
So that was like, we actually kind of jumped into that. To which I think we only did about like 10 to 12 episodes for season 2. Um, we all got pretty busy here and there.
Mm-hmm.
And then season 3 came and went pretty quickly. I think we only did like 6 for season 3.
Gotcha.
But it was hard. I mean, as well as I do, like the editing process, it can take a long time. And I was doing everything. So they would just
Gotcha.
come in, record, and then it was on me to do everything else, upload.
Right.
I'm like, guys, I'm tired of doing this, man. I love doing it, but I need an editor.
It is definitely, I listen to Gary V a lot. Do you know who Gary V
Mhm.
is? And
Yeah.
I love his stuff, his content, and he's very motivational. And when I listen to him, it don't let me give up. So,
Yeah.
you know,
That's
and
fair.
it's really like I have no plans of giving up, like not even like cross my mind. I do want to slow down just a touch because 3 episodes a week is a lot. I want to go back
Yeah.
to 2. Probably January we're gonna go to 2 with the occasional third. Like if I get somebody, hey, I really need this out. Like my Kickstarter's launching today. Can you please, sure,
Yeah.
absolutely, I'll throw you in. And that's kind of how it happened with the last couple months. Been doing 3 a week. So many people have reached out to me, and then I do like that link now.
Yeah.
Um, which I love, but I have it set to after January. It's only 1 a week. So if one
Good.
gets booked
Yeah.
that week, it cuts the rest of them off. But
You got
even
up
like
to
my,
I
go
was gonna
ahead.
say you have to take care of yourself. That's
Right,
the biggest thing. If you're overworking yourself, gets overwhelmed, then it doesn't get fun anymore.
right.
That's good.
But even my daughter, she's like, I'm sitting here like, oh, I've got to do this today, because I spend all day Sunday usually doing my reels for the week. I still have a scheduler, so that helps out a lot. So I schedule all my posts for the week. So I don't, set it for on Sunday and forget about it the rest of the week. I might throw another video out just for fun. Um, But I was talking to her. She's like, "Oh, we can do this." I'm like, "Oh, I gotta, do this." She's like, "Well, just don't quit." I'm like, "Well, where the hell did that come from?" But I have no plans to quit. But I like that you think that you don't want to quit either. So that's good
Yeah.
at 10 years old. So that's
It's
going to be an interesting one. Is like the transition of to a teenager and how she keeps involving with it and how that's going to work. It'll be
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that was my daughter, she's turning 15 next week or this week.
Sweet.
Today's Sunday, this Friday, yeah. And that was, we're still yeah, I coach her softball team and stuff, and
Okay.
like we're involved with each other, but like her I don't know, her interest in the comic book industry slowly started to diminish, like
Right.
she turned 11, 12, and I was like, I'm not really interested in comic books as much anymore, and like, to the point where like we didn't go to C2E2 this year, and it wasn't a question to her, you know.
Wow.
It hurts, but at the same time, she's her own person. She's got
Yep.
to grow
They
into
have to
being
get
what she
their
wants to
thing.
be. Yeah, I can't force my
Right.
my comic book agenda on her. So
Well, this has been her idea mostly. So
awesome.
I've kind of reined her a little bit, and I'm slowly letting her do a little bit more and more. She started creating reels last weekend, which was really cool. I logged her in and said, "Here, have fun, try it."
Yeah,
And so 3 of the reels that I released this week she made, which was awesome.
nice.
Um, hopefully we can keep it up, and we'll see how she does going at conventions and stuff, because I'm gonna look at C2E2 now and make sure I go.
It's dude, CT2. It's going to be great this year. I feel like last year I wanted to go. It just there was so much going on with work that I didn't actually get a chance to be there. But this year I am like I'm fully committed on actually having a table. So I'm gonna do my
Heck
best to
yeah.
be there, either in Artist Alley or in Writer's Block. I want to. I want you know. I want to be there. I want to be a professional. That's the biggest thing. And as selfish as it sounds and stuff, but it's like I have to start thinking of myself as a professional in that sense, and I need to just put myself out.
100%. Like, that's come up a lot on this podcast. I talk to people, and they'll be like, "Oh, because you're a writer," and I'm like, "I ain't a freaking writer. Like, I wrote one comic," and they're like, "No, you're a writer."
Yeah,
I'm like, "You're a
yeah,
creator." I'm like, "Okay, that's weird," But we have
yeah.
to put ourselves out there. And is every video going to get 1,000 views or 10,000? Nope. Maybe one, but who cares? I don't care.
Who cares, right? As long as you're doing what you love, and
Yeah.
that's the most important thing. I had the first time ever, just a couple weeks ago. There was a shop in Orlando, the shop I was telling you about.
Hmm.
The owner, he was doing a live, and I was buying a couple comics from it. He's like, "Oh, Don Prince." He's like, I remember Don when he was this fratty college a college student, and he would hang out in the shop all day, and I loved having him around. He's like, and now he's an industry professional. I'm like, what? Can you say that again?
Right? Can
Yeah,
you repeat that? Let me hit record real quick.
yeah, like that's wow. Like that's the first time someone called me an industry professional, and it was really, I mean, it's so wholesome coming from him of all people, because like you said, I did hang out with him a lot,
Right.
and I was one free comic book day. I was dressed up as Deadpool on the side of the road, spinning a sign, just to
Heck
be
yeah.
there for the shops. It was really cool. It was really humbling.
It's awesome. Well, where can people get Wasteland? I have fun questions, but
Yeah,
we're
no,
going to go
absolutely.
over this real quick.
Wasteland is currently on my TikTok shop.
Okay.
I'm,
TikTok.
I'm building a website, so that'll be a
Perfect.
little easier for people to get and stuff. But the Heroes Get Remembered comic on TikTok is where you can buy it.
Awesome. Is there, I didn't even look at my questions this whole time, which is,
You're
it's
good.
starting to morph into like, I don't need these anymore, which
Yeah.
is cool, because I just kind of go with the flow. But I always ask, is there anything that we want to talk about or you want to talk about that we haven't brought up? Because the last thing I want is, to walk away from this and be like, dang, I wish she would have asked me this.
Oh man, I don't know. Anything I want to talk about? Just
How
that
to
issue
rotate your
2.
tires.
Yeah, right. I think the big thing, and this would be something that people who are, I guess, readers of my story will find out, that issue 2 is starting production this month.
All right.
So I'm really excited. I was speaking with Hudson earlier, and
Hudson Rodriguez,
Hudson Rodriguez. Yeah,
awesome. He's the illustrator.
correct. Yeah, he did interiors. He did that cover as well. Eric Rossi was a longtime friend of mine. He did the color work inside of it too.
Love
So
I love the artwork. I love the layout. 4 pages
thank
in,
you.
you have a title page. I'm stealing a lot of stuff from you, so just so you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Um,
don't know if I might now at this point. I don't know. I'm still
the,
toying.
big, the biggest thing I would say, any splash pages you have, make
Mhm.
sure they are to proper size for the comic book page. The splash page that's inside of here, I actually had to cut off a couple panels. So you can actually see the bottom of the panel at the very top of the page, I think it is.
Which one is it?
It's the splash page just after the infamous 15 advertisement.
Okay, let me find it.
Yeah.
Infamous
So I'm
15.
sure Michael.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So that was definitely a little bit of a bummer. But I mean, the majority of the paid panels I wanted to see inside there are there. So
A little bit of a learning curve.
Yeah. Everything. I mean, every day is something new with the
Yeah.
comic book, which is really cool.
I enjoyed the story, so I liked it.
Thank you. It really means a lot.
And I like your character bios in the back too. That was really cool.
That was a last minute touch. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
I had to fill up a couple pages, and I'm like, I'll fill a character bio in. That's ripped directly from the Kickstarter page, which is kind of funny.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that, right? Yeah.
That's right.
But yeah, issue 2, starting production.
Heck yeah.
And anybody who is, so I'm going to be, I think about end of February is when I'll have the Kickstarter started for Heart Eaters. So all the backers of Heart Eaters will receive the first 5 pages of Wasteland issue 2.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, pretty exciting.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that idea. Somebody gave me that idea a few weeks ago, and I created just a landing page to give away, like a newsletter landing page to give away the first 4 pages of this book. So
nice.
That's been a lot of fun. I don't know if anybody signed up. I have to go look. Oh. That's okay. I don't, it'll be fun. I'm loving seeing this book come together. So sweet. Go back your next Kickstarter coming in February.
Yeah, coming end of February is what I'm thinking.
Do you have a pre-launch page built?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay.
But it's going to be something that I have to get the music video shot so I can.
Okay. So have the video on there.
Yeah.
I got to update my pre-launch page, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
Christmas break is coming. That's when I get to do all my fun projects. So.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, man. Awesome. Well, all right. So I have my fun questions that you have to live through, suffer through, whatever, and then we should be good. But who is your first favorite superhero?
It's a tough one. Superhero is vague because there's no superpowers involved with this person.
Okay.
Dick Grayson.
Dick Tracy?
No, Dick Grayson. Dick Tracy, yes. Sorry. No, but no, Dick Grayson.
Okay.
Yeah. My boy Nightwing here,
Oh, there you go. Nightwing. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was something about, the boy wonder and the fact that a kid could be a superhero was a big thing growing up. And it kind of evolved into like my Marvel side of things. Like I really loved Spider-Man. And then when I look at like the Turtles, who's my favorite? Well, of course, Michelangelo. He's the kid,
Of course.
So
he likes pizza the most.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I'm Nightwing, Robin. He was always been my favorite.
Okay.
I remember dressing up as the Chris O'Donnell Robin from Batman Forever for Halloween one year. So
heck yeah. That was a good Robin. They did good on that one.
They did good on him. Yeah. They didn't do him dirty like some of the other places are trying to do. But I like the fact that he was a little more, in his teens and he was a little more edgy of a character.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Sorry, I said Dick Tracy. I was a Dick Tracy fan. Well, I still am. But
yeah, I love Dick Tracy. I mean, that was such a fantastic, like early '90s, like just comic book film,
right?
With the over dramatic prosthetics on the faces and stuff. And who was the only person that didn't have the prosthetics? Was that it's
Marilyn Monroe?
No,
not Marilyn Monroe. It was Madonna, wasn't it?
Madonna.
Yeah. Sorry, Marilyn Monroe.
James Caan.
James Caan. Okay.
He was one of the gangster guys, and all he had was like maybe the smallest of chin piece on him, while everyone else has like extravagant like head
Caked on.
Yeah, it's such a great movie.
Right. I'm enjoying the new series that Mad Cat's doing right now.
Oh yeah,
Do you remember the first comic book you ever read?
man. I don't know the name of it. I just remember the cover because my dad had it in his basement. And no one in my family really cared about comics. I was the oddball out of it.
Me too.
I just remember this. It was just like almost like Conan-esque storyline where it was just about like this caveman barbarian thing. But I don't remember the name of that comic. I do know that my first comic book that I ever purchased, actually, like I said earlier, was from Secret Stash. And it was Kevin Smith's storyline for Superman and the Legion of Superheroes. It was his,
Awesome.
yeah. So,
I'm jealous. I'll get there next year.
a cool place.
Do you have a favorite current series?
Ooh, current series. Probably Radiant Black. No, oh man, let me. Radiant Black is uh, it's an Image comic book put out by Kyle Higgins and Ryan Otley. It's
Now
based
that you
around.
mentioned that, I think I've seen the cover.
Yeah, it's so good. And you know what's it's kind of hilarious, but it's about a comic book writer who becomes a superhero. And
Okay.
or actually he's an author. I take that back. He's not necessarily a comic writer, but he's an author. His buddy is a comic book writer. But it's such a good series. It really is. And Kyle and Ryan both were writing Power Rangers at one point, and then they were writing what was the other one? I think Kyle wrote Nightwing as well. So it's a little bit of a theme there if you can't tell, but yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. If you could live in any comic book universe, which would it be?
You know, so much of me wants to say the DC universe, you know, so and be a part of like Bloodhaven or Gotham City, but chances are I'd probably be one of the victims of like a
Right, me
serial
too.
killer. But I'd probably say, right above me, you see I have a nice Power Rangers diorama and stuff. I'd probably live within Angel Grove. I think that'd be
Okay.
pretty cool.
That's cool. I was gonna say Wasteland. I thought you'd go with Wasteland, but that
I
seems
lived
like
in
a cool.
Wasteland, man.
You do,
Yeah.
true. You do. But that
Wasteland,
seems like a cool place to live.
Yeah, it could be.
It could
Could
be.
be. Yeah.
I don't know, 9-foot tall, lion that's 900 pounds, or 7-foot tall lion that's 900 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, having Novak as a best friend would be pretty awesome.
That'd be pretty badass.
Yeah, I mean, my own story arc, right?
Right.
You think is that? Yeah.
That's all right. If you could have any superpower, everybody asks this, but it's fine. What would you choose?
I'm looking at him on my wall right now. He's staring at me. He has the Carnage symbiote on one side and Venom on the other. So I think I'd have to go with Spider-Man's powers.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I got a little 5-panel artwork where he's sitting here with his arms out and Carnage on one side and Venom on the other. But yeah.
That's awesome. All right. So this will be cool. So you pick any character. It doesn't have to be a sidekick. Which character would you pick as your sidekick?
Which character would I pick as my sidekick? I think I'm gonna have to go with Lucas Novak from Wasteland.
There you go. Like that. He'd be cool to have as a good friend.
Dude, I mean, I want a bear hug from him. That's the biggest thing, man.
Right.
I just want to. I'm feeling down. I want to call up Novak and gives me a hug, man. That guy is
right. Heck yeah. All right. If your life were a comic book, what would the title be?
Life was a comic book. Oh man, that is a tough.
Yeah, these are the hard hitting questions.
Yeah. What would our I'm gonna go sappy here. I'm gonna say to the moon and back.
The moon and back. I love that.
One of the things I used to say to my wife all the time. I love you to the moon and back. We say it to our children. So yeah.
I love that. How many kids do you have?
We have 2. So Yeah, we have a soon to be 15-year-old and then an 8-year-old.
All right, 15 and 8. Mine's 24 and 10.
All right.
Both girls.
You've been through it. Yep. 2 girls for me too. So
Yeah, girl dad. I want to know what to do with a little boy, so that'd be
it's funny
crazy.
too. I remember when we found out that we were gonna have a girl, and I was like, I really wanted a boy. I would never. I wouldn't go back to change it. Like this is the best thing in the world being a girl dad.
Yep, I agree. They've been awesome. My
Yeah.
little one is amazing. My oldest is amazing. They go through a little turbulent times, but
Yeah.
my oldest didn't go through the turbulent times till she hit 19. Then it went off the
Wow.
deep end. So the teenage years were great, and then it
Yeah.
went. Whew, I was like, "Whew, that was rough."
Adulthood. Yeah.
I think it would have been easier if she was a teenager, but then she
Yeah.
was an adult going through it, and I'm like, "Whew, that was tough."
Yeah.
But she's coming back around. It's good. So.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
But yeah, this was awesome, man. I appreciate you being on. I'm gonna have to add some of that beginning conversation into it as well. And
Dude. Yeah.
I would love to have you back. When you get your book launched again, let's get you back on, advertise the Kickstarter.
I would love that. Yeah.
We'll I'll put all your socials in there, TikTok and Instagram and stuff. It's on TikTok Shop. Have you sold any on TikTok Shop?
I've sold one.
Okay.
But it's something. Yeah. And actually, I found out the other day. Don't mind if I do a quick plug for the
Sure,
shop. It's
please.
called Comics and Coasters in Rockford,
Okay.
Illinois. We sold our first issue with them.
Heck yeah.
So I dropped
Congratulations.
5 off. Thank you. It's such a cool thing. I hit him up the other day. I'm like, hey, just want to see how it's working. He's like, I sold one so far. I'm like, that's amazing. Thank you.
Right?
So,
Heck yeah.
yeah.
That's amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll link all that in here. How'd the process go when you sold it? I haven't sold anything on there, so.
So the way I'm working with him, we're doing like kind of the same thing that you do with a normal, like comic retailer where you buy
Okay.
the issues at like a certain cost.
Yeah.
So he's buying mine at the cost of
That
what it would cost
wholesale.
to print it,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah, wholesale.
Perfect.
So
What about
yeah.
TikTok? How'd that go?
TikTok was relatively easy. They don't
Okay.
require any like LLC or anything like that.
Yep.
So
I mean,
it's
I
just a
have the
matter of,
store with just merch on it. I don't have like the book on it or anything yet. So we'll see how that goes, but I'm just curious how it works.
I mean, as long as I got the front and back cover on there, I think, with a few other variant covers. I mean, if you have the shop already, it's pretty quick.
Pretty
You
easy.
you're gonna upload it with the description and then hope and pray.
Hope and pray. Keep posting videos, man. Keep getting out in front of it,
Yeah.
Go
I
to
got it.
conventions, get a table. Maybe maybe we'll be a C2E2 together. That'd be amazing. So
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I will
That'd be
definitely
really
be up
cool.
that way at some point. So we'll definitely cross paths. I look forward to that. I'm gonna be all over the place next year. So hopefully buy my books or support the podcast so I can afford to go to all these places.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be
The
crazy.
funds you're gonna be making off the shop are solely gonna be able to fund you to go to these conventions.
Yeah, exactly. That's all that's gonna do. I don't
That's
need
what
to
I'm
make a
doing.
living.
Yeah. My work funds are for the home. My comic funds
right.
are for the fun.
The fun.
stuff.
That's right.
Yeah.
Great advice. Well, go like, follow, subscribe, all that fun stuff to home. What is it? Say it again.
Heroes get remembered.
Heroes Get Remembered. Sorry, I had it wrote down at the top and I didn't look at it. Heroes Get Remembered. My stuff, his stuff, Wasteland the comic. Go read it. It's amazing. I really enjoyed it. And thanks for being on with me.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
In a world of heroes, villains, and epic stories,
Braha, Anakan, and their ultimate sidekick, Panel P, take you on adventures each week.
showing off their comic book hauls,
Fun trivia and games, honest reviews.
and inspiring conversations with creators and consumers who make it all possible.
Join in on the conversation.
This is Talking Comics.
Trying to start a podcast but feeling stuck? At Aquadio, we help creators make waves with everything you need to bring your voice to life. Hosting, recording, editing, and marketing. Whether you're starting from scratch or just need a little help polishing your sound, we're here to hydropower your creativity. Comment on this video or DM us today and let's dive in.